Hi, my name is Brandon Goodwin, and this is the history of the electronic drum set. The first known use of an electronic drum was in 1971 by the Moody Blues on the song Procession. Uh, Graeme Edge, the drummer of the Moody Blues, actually built the electronic drum kit with an electronics professor in the States at Sussex University. And it wasn't marketed or anything because it was very complex, it broke down all the time, but it did make it into history as the first recorded electronic drum sound. The first marketed electronic drum pad was the Syndrum, which was created by Pollard Industries in 1976, and it was basically a pad that had some knobs and sliders, and the sounds could be manipulated, but they hadn't come up with a brain module yet to store the sound, so each time the drummer wanted to change the sound on the pad, they had to turn the knobs and sliders, so they had to memorize what they were doing. And I'll just play a really quick clip of a Linda Ronstadt tune utilizing this drum. So yeah, that's a clip of that, and it wasn't really a replacement for an acoustic drum kit because it was pretty unrealistic. So they basically used it like on that song. If you listen to the whole song, it's just kind of added in, and most of the song is actually real drums that they just kind of like put it in there, I guess, because it was a new toy, but it didn't actually replace acoustic drums. And so in 1978, the first electronic drum kit, like full kit, was created by the Simmons Electronic Drum Company in the United Kingdom, and it was they built like a 5-piece kit with there were hexagon-shaped pads for the aesthetics, for the nice look, and they were made from polycarbonate, which is actually like a mold. It was easy to mold and make lots of these pads, so they used those, and it actually injured the drummers because polycarbonate is like a rock basically. So these guys were smashing on rocks and were spraining their wrists and stuff. So they changed it to rubber pretty quickly, but it started off like that. And yeah, there was a lot of really famous drummers who endorsed the Simmons drums, such as Dave Weckl of the Chick Corea Band, Neil Peart of Rush, Alex Van Halen, Phil Collins used them, Bill Bruford, and actually Bill Bruford was the kind of like a poster boy, I guess, for Simmons drums because they were based out of the UK, and he was probably one of the more famous drummers in the United Kingdom. He was drumming for King Crimson. And so they sent him to the U.S. to do like a demo tour, and as soon as he hit the music stores and was doing these drum clinics on these electronic drums, they sold out. Like the stores went nuts, and they was an instant success in the U.S. So Simmons really led the 80s electronic synth drum revolution. They even built this sort of like briefcase type device that was like, I think it was like 12 pads all set side by side, like really small pads, and they could be set to different sounds. Like they developed also a brain module so you could save the settings. And like in the song Perfect Kiss by New Order, I think it's at 2 minutes and 53 seconds. You can actually see a picture of the guy. So the drummer is just standing and playing on these like little rubber pads. And you'd have to be pretty accurate. They're actually pretty small looking pads. But yeah, so that's about it. The electronic drum craze of the 80s was mostly led by Simmons, and due to probably, I mean, they made good electronic drums, but I'm sure there were others, but they really it took off when Bill Bruford and like Phil Collins endorsed them, and Van Halen, and Rush, and Dave Weckl. So yeah, they had a lot of support. But yeah, just as a note, just because I'm here, I'm going to state that electronic drums, I think, are great as a supplement to drums, but they'll always be a synthesized sound, and I'm yet to play on an electronic drum that I'm even 10% convinced that is close to the real thing. But that's another story. So thanks for listening.